Bringing the author of The Lucky Years, CBS This Morning contributor, University of Southern California professor of medicine and engineering, Dr. David Agus is with us this morning. Great to see you, Dr. Agus.
Great to see you.
Thank you so much for being here. So you've written a lot about this, obviously, and so much, several books. Give us the links of breast cancer and exercise, what people should be doing to get ahead of this deadly disease.
Well, the key to breast cancer is prevention, right? I mean, you can't prevent all of them, but a lot. So a baby aspirin a day will reduce the death rate of all cancers by 30%.
A baby aspirin?
A baby aspirin. Breast cancer by more than 40%. 81 milligrams of an aspirin a day, number one. Number two is, you're right, exercise works. Study after study shows that exercise changes the physiology, so breast cancer doesn't happen. And mammograms and screening are critical. You catch it early, your outcome is going to be better. That data are real. So those three things, critical for the prevention of breast cancer.
I want to broaden this out and ask you more about your findings, because you've written so many books. My favorite book of yours is A Short Guide to a Long Life, and you say so many basic things about that, about living a long life. Give us the basic things that we all probably should know, but new findings that you've learned, particularly as it relates to technology as well.
No question. So, A Short Guide to a Long Life, 56 rules of to-dos and not to-dos. Simple ones are, it's not just what you eat, it's when you eat. So the data show is that people who eat their meals on a regular schedule with nothing, zero, zilch in between, actually have lower rates of diabetes, feel better, exercise, and perform better during the day. Our bodies were made for regularity. So that snack in between a meal actually throws all you off, and you actually gain weight. So it lowers metabolism.
So you want to have a structure.
3 meals a day. We never had a kitchen cabinet till 100 years ago. So our body didn't evolve to graze. That's key.
Huh, interesting. Grazing is a problem. Yeah, go ahead.
Yes. Second is, something we just alluded to. It's not just exercise, it's movement over time. So again, our bodies were designed to move. So your lymphatics that control your immune system have no muscle in their wall. So with the rhythmic contraction of your legs when you walk, that actually make your body work. So I love that you go to the gym all day, or for an hour, but you got to walk the rest of the day to equal health, and that's critical. The next one is, and I think this especially going into this hurricane this weekend, is get access to your medical records. Is everybody, especially down in the area of the hurricane, get your information from your doctor and put it online. Put it in Dropbox or put it in, to one of the storage facilities online, so that wherever you are, you can pull that information up. That's how you get the best care. When you show up and nobody knows anything about you, it's really difficult to give excellent care.
This is all about getting ahead of disease, right? I mean, that's one thing that the Affordable Care Act really never did. I mean, the Obamacare legislation was more about insurance than it was getting ahead of disease.
Well, I mean, I think it's both. I mean, the data from Obamacare, and there are a lot of faults to it, but one of the benefits is that people who were out of the system got into the system. So actually, cancer was diagnosed earlier, and outcomes of heart disease were better in the whole country as a whole, because we had an extra tens of million people in Obamacare. That being said, I'm a believer in people having health care. When you're in the system, you practice prevention. When you're out of the system, in general, you don't. So we have to develop that. And we have to push people to the prevention side. Why should non-smokers subsidize smokers? Why should, if you sit all day, why should your health care be subsidized by somebody who's at the gym all day? And so the notion is each of us have to take our own responsibility for health care.
Little nuggets of information from you are incredible. Real quick before you go, you and I had a discussion a couple years ago about vitamins.
Yes.
And there was a big debate out there about why take vitamins. It's not like they're regulated by the FDA or anything. Give us your stance on vitamins.
So it's not my stance, it's the data. Is that, vitamins, we spend more on vitamins in this country and supplements than we do on all of medical research. And there is yet...
What?
We spend more in our country on vitamins and supplements than medical research. By the way, we spend more on potato chips than on cancer research in the United States.
Oh, my God.
That being said, there is yet to be in the history of the United States a positive study in men or women showing a benefit to a vitamin or a supplement. None. Yet they're the counter, right? Men who take vitamin E, increased rate of prostate cancer. Women over 70 who take calcium, increased rate of bone fractures.
You're just taking too much stuff.
Well, what vitamins are a lack
it.
of something your body can't synthesize. How many friends of yours have rickets or scurvy or beriberi, which is a lack of vitamins? I challenge you to name one.
Sure, we don't get vitamin D, though, and I need I mean, it's a happy vitamin, right, and you get it from the sun.
Vitamin D.
We don't have, yeah.
So 82% of America is, quote, low in vitamin D. So first of all, who defined what normal was? And so you get vitamin D diet, you're outside in the sun, but taking supplemental vitamin D a lot at once isn't good for you. We know that because the body devises a very complex mechanism so we don't get too much vitamin D at once. It's called tanning. The reason we tan is to block vitamin D absorption. That tells you something.
Wow, really great stuff. David Agus, will you come back soon?
I would love it, Maria.
Great to see you.
Thank you.
I want
the
so much.
book.
Yeah, I want all his books. Dr. David Agus joining us there.